Hello, modern Canadian living enthusiasts. Welcome to another part of the journey. Today we are joined by Prince Fluffy Butt. This is one of our newest chicks, and as you can see, fully feathered feet. I mean, completely booted with feathers and extremely fluffy. One of our latest little hatchlings from our setup back here. So today for the video, we are going to continue our little trip down the hatching road. We're going to talk specifically about what we've been using to test out our hatch rates and fertility rates. We're going to go through the incubators we have back here, why we chose them for this, and then we'll have some other videos coming on what incubator types are out there, which ones we recommend, which ones we would avoid, along with we'll have other videos to help show you guys how to increase your hatch rates and just the success overall, making sure that you get as many of these cute little ones as possible out of the eggs that you're going to put in your incubators. So stick around because there's lots to come. Hope you all enjoyed that little opening roll. Get to see some of our birds and our current image. We'll be looking to change that in the future, so if there's any artists out there and you've got some ideas, reach out to us. We'd love to get in contact with you. So for today's video, like I was saying, we're going to be talking about the incubators that we have behind us. We do have two 12-egg incubators along with two 56-egg units. We have one acting as an incubator and the other acting as a hatcher for each group. For the purpose of today's video, ignore that. We're simply going to be focusing on the incubators themselves, as these are easier to find and available on places like Amazon. They're considered simple and easy to use, so long as you follow a couple of steps to help increase your success rate. So we're going to start off with the Trio Cottage 12-egg automatic egg turner incubator. This is available on Amazon. We will have the links for this, that one, and the other 56 egg units down in the description. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you go ahead and click on our affiliate link. As always with the YouTube channels, we don't get too much, but it does help us out, and every little bit goes to help to do this journey and provide you all with more information. So, like I was saying, this 12-egg automatic egg turner incubator unit from Trio Cottage, they have a few different versions of their 12-egg units. They come with the unit itself, the hose, the water bottle to keep the humidity in, the power cord, and it's pretty much set it and forget it. When we start with placing the eggs in these units, we do use the turning tray. So you place this inside the incubator when you are starting to hatch. Put it in the middle, put your eggs in each one of the slots, and when you place the cover on, there's little teeth here that will grab onto the tray. Kind of hard to do this one hand, so apologies here. They will lock on to your little turning tray and turn it every 2 hours. It'll get a full rotation of the eggs, just like the mother hen would do in the nest itself. So this is one of the reasons that we recommend getting an automatic egg turner. There are many versions out there, whether they be the ones that turn with a tray. Others are rollers that spin, like our 56 egg units back here behind me. But we do recommend and highly encourage everybody to get ones with an automatic turning feature. This will ensure that your eggs are just constantly in that motion like they would be in the nest out in nature, and they increase the success rates, right? You want to put all the odds in your favor when we're doing things like this. So this little unit here does come in a foam packaging. A lot of incubators do, and something that some people tend to forget is this isn't just for shipping. You can see we're still using them. In fact, when you open the products from Trio Cottage or any others, you will see that there's a paper on top that says, "Do not discard shipping styrofoam." It does help with the incubators, keep the temperature a little bit more stable, and helps the heater inside not to work as hard, right? We are in a closed room within our house that we've set the temperature a little higher so it's a little warmer in here because we're using it for a temporary incubation space. But if this is something that's sitting out on your counter in the kitchen, it may not be that warm. So having the styrofoam gives that extra layer of protection and just helps, put the odds in our favor, like I was saying. So for a unit like this, the really cool thing about it is it's completely see-through around here. So if you're new to the journey and you, your little ones, your family, your friends are all excited to watch the process unfold, this is a great way to start. There are many options out there. I highly recommend getting one that has a hose, got a little water there, that has a hose and a bottle, an outside refill bottle so that you can keep the humidity balanced. There are versions out there, this company, other companies, that have no bottles. You have to lift off the dome or the top to refill water. Some may have little holes on the side that come with a little squirt bottle, like you can see back here. Those are great options too, but just make sure that when you're looking for an incubator, you choose something that has an outside humidity refill. You don't want to be messing with the inside temperature and humidity too much by constantly taking the dome on and off. And that's why the clear see-through ones, and you can see there's cutouts in the styrofoam, little windows to allow you to see. It's so that you're not constantly disturbing it. It's kind of like when we're cooking on a barbecue or something. You don't want to constantly be lifting the lid. Temperature changes. It's the same thing with our eggs when they're in incubation. We want to keep that environment as stable as possible. So this is the 12 egg unit. This is one of their versions. We have another one of their versions up here. We use these in the kitchen sometimes when we start, but we also use them in here, like I said, for smaller batches to test out different hatch rates from the groups. The other ones that we have here are 56 egg units. Unfortunately, I can't take them out and show you right now, but I will be putting some pictures on the site here so that you can see. These ones operate a little differently. Instead of having a turning tray like the two 12 ones, where the eggs get rolled around as the tray turns, these units are what we call roller units. So they have rollers that go across the box front to back. You place your eggs in there. Cool thing about these, you can size it from quail eggs all the way up to duck, turkey eggs, goose eggs, whatever you would like. We do chickens in them. These ones do the automatic turning just like the 12 egg by rolling the egg this way. As the rollers turn, the egg rolls in the opposite way, but it creates that motion and that movement. It's a little bit softer of a turn. These ones up here, they do roll them around a bit more, but both have great success rates so long as you follow the instructions and some basic steps like I was saying. Now the 56 egg units have a hatching tray on the bottom, just like the 12 egg units. They just have a lot more space, and the 56 egg units have a candler light on top. So there's a little button, it's got a little light in it, shines it up. When you're going to candle, we'll be covering that in a later video, use your phone. Most phones have good enough little flashlights on them that it's more than powerful to get through most eggs. I do say most because some eggs are too dark to candle, but we'll be covering that in another video. So both styles of incubators that we have here do have indicators for the heat. Only the 56 egg units indicate the humidity, as they do have a bit more of a display screen. They also count the number of days. Both units, both styles are effective. There are so many different ones out there. When you're shopping, if it's your first time, don't have to go like crazy, ridiculously expensive. These smaller, simple units, highly recommended to start. I would get something that has some good reviews. We have no issues with Trio Cottage, and we've had great success rate. We're showing these ones today because it's a lower cost to starting this up. When you start going down the hatching journey, you might get a little bit intimidated by the types of incubators, the sizes, the styles. And that's why we're doing this hatching journey, is just to help spread some knowledge and share some information that we've learned. You don't have to go big or go home kind of thing. You can go small and have great success rate, right? It's all about being smart on the homestead. There are many different companies out there that make versions similar to these in different ways, shapes, and forms. Things to look for when you're getting your first incubator and you're just doing it small, kind of like these little test batches here. You're not going hundreds and hundreds of eggs. Things to keep in mind are solid structures. There are some versions out there that have collapsible boxes. So the box, like the bottom part for the 56 eggs units, actually the sides fold in. Ease of storage, they say. It's a great idea for storing it when you're incubating. That provides a lot of environmental changes. That allows air to flow in and out. It doesn't help regulate the humidity or the temperature. It can allow drafts, and it's poor incubation rates, right? So when you're looking for your first incubator, make sure you get something that has a one-piece dome, one-piece bottom, or like these ones, solid bottom with a lid on top. You don't want to get the ones that come in multiple pieces. It just, like I said, allows too many environmental factors to offset the hatch rate. Something else to consider is the noise. They do have fans. They do have a little heater to move the air around. Now those fans, some of them are noisier than others. For the most part, they're using a computer fan style type of thing. Some do use different styles, but just so you all have an idea of what kind of fan, we're not talking about massive blowers here. We're just talking about light, delicate air movement. So some of them can be a little bit noisier than others. So when you're placing the incubator, make sure it's not in, say, a child's room or something. The noise can be a little bit disruptive. They're not all that way. Ours are pretty quiet, I gotta say. You can hear the fans. You might be able to hear it a little bit in the video. With the editing, you may not be able to, but just something to consider. Something else to keep in mind is the style. So if you're just doing small groups, you can use the 12 egg incubators. You can do anywhere from 1 to 12, no problem. Some of them can even go up to 16, 24 with the tray turning style ones. The roller ones do it differently, but they're both very effective. We have both styles right now because we're using them to test out batches. So depending on if we're doing a small batch or a bit bigger batch, to check the fertility rates and the hatch rates, like I've been saying, it just depends on which one we put them in. No matter which incubator you choose to go with, before you put any eggs in it, once you receive it, clean it, turn it on for at least an entire day, make sure it works. Make sure there's no cracks, make sure that the temperature inside gets up to where it needs to be. The display on it may not be perfectly calibrated. So if you have any type of thermometer, if you've got a little laser heat gun, anything of the sort, make sure that after it's been on for several hours, you check the inside temperature. If you've got a thermometer, place it inside while it's warming up, just so you know that what's displayed on the screen versus the actual temperature. This will help you adjust the settings, because all of these units have adjustable settings for the heat. You can go up or down by a couple of degrees. This will help you control the environment. You'll be able to offset the difference in what the screen is telling you and with your local environment to find that optimal temperature point. Some other things to consider is the size. You can see that without the foam, it's not so bad. A little tiny, right? Once we put the foam, it gets a little bit bigger, and the same goes for the 56 egg units. With the foam on them to help with the temperature and humidity control, it does make them a little bulkier. It does make them a little bit bigger. So make sure that they're on a table, an area that's not going to get disturbed. When you're hatching eggs, you're very tempted to check them and, oh, how are they progressing? And you want a candle every day. We don't recommend that. That will decrease your hatch rates. It'll decrease the odds and just, you won't get what you're looking for. We will have a video on candling, like I've said a few times now. That'll be coming. But when you're placing them in there, it's kind of like the set it and forget it. If your machine is working, if your incubator is providing enough humidity, air movement, and heat, it will do its job. If you are looking at egg turners, whether it's on Amazon or anywhere else, that don't have an automatic egg turner, like we talked about, whether it's the rollers or the tray that turns, those are ones that we'll cover in later videos, but we would recommend avoiding. Chicken eggs need to be turned, so if you think that you can't afford an automatic egg turning one right now, highly recommend saving up a little bit of extra money. I know it's not always easy, especially in this day and age, but invest in an incubator that has the automatic egg turning function. This just ensures that you're putting all the odds in your favor and going to get the best hatch rate you possibly can. So I've taken the styrofoam off this 12 egg unit here, just so you can have a better look inside, and I'll show you what the manual egg turning mode looks like. You can do this by pushing and holding the button up top, and you'll see the eggs will turn. This is what it does automatically every 2 hours in the 12, 18, or 24 tray style automatic egg turners. The 56 egg units, or the ones with the rollers, every 2 hours, the rollers activate and turn the eggs. So there's different styles out there, but the automatic egg turning function is very important to help increase your success rate and make sure that the eggs are getting everything they need while they're developing. We're going to give you just a little peek inside, and I'm going to set the auto turn function to manual for a second, just so you can see what it looks like when a 56 egg unit turns. So I push the button. It's really hard to see. Got to do this quickly, but the eggs will rotate as the rollers activate. This one does have an alarm, so it's going to sound in a second. Pardon the beep if you hear it. I'm going to edit it out for editing. This is what the 56 egg unit that we have looks like. You can see up top there is the display. It does have the numbers. This is our candling light right here. Turn it on, turn it off. When it's time to candle, we simply place the egg on top. We turn off the lights in the room and check to see what it looks like. See how we're doing, if the egg's developing or if it's either unfertile or hasn't started developing yet. We don't just have the incubators here. As you might be able to see just out of frame, we have a couple of brooder boxes on the ground. That will be in one of our videos coming up too, what to put in your brooder boxes. But just so you're wondering what else is on the rack here, as we do ship eggs and we do sell chicks, we have some egg cartons, some packaging material, just a little bit so you can kind of see what it takes. When we ship eggs, each and every egg is individually wrapped, packaged, put in its packaging. That box is then put in another box with padding around it. Some heat paws or hot paws are sometimes added, those little hand warmers depending on the time of year, and then we send it out via carrier for next day or as quickly as possible delivery, depending on where you are located within Canada. Currently can only do Canada. Shipping across border for chickens and eggs is a whole different journey that we are not planning on taking. Everything that you need comes in the kits 99.9% of the time, regardless of the incubators that you're looking at. I do encourage everybody to do some research. Don't just take my word for it. Look around and see what's out there. Check the reviews on the products that you see online or that you're buying from social media on the used platforms. You don't always have to buy new. There are plenty of people who try it out. They do it once or twice and then they say it's not for them. They'd rather just buy the chicks, or the entire journey is not for them and they change course. So shop around, but make sure that you do your research. Find out how many eggs you're looking to hatch at a time. And keep in mind that just because you're putting in 12 eggs doesn't mean that all 12 are going to hatch. So if you're looking to get guaranteed 12 chicks, you're going to have to put more than 12 eggs in your incubator. You don't always have to fill the incubator, but depending on the size of it, you may have to make some adjustments so the eggs don't move around too much when you don't want them to. So Prince Fluffy Butt and myself, thank you all for sticking around till the end of this video. We hope you learned a little something. This was just a little tour on what we are currently using for our fertility and hatch rate checks. This video is to show that you don't have to go get those big incubators to get cute, fluffy little friends. This one here actually hatched out of the 56 egg units, and we've had chicks hatching out of all of them. We use the smaller ones, like I said, for some of our smaller groups, say copper morans or sex-linked olive eggers, where the bigger ones we use for bigger groups or the black sex-links or red sex-links that we do. As always, if you want to see what else we get up to, if you want to find out more information on incubators and our brooding setup, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those YouTube notifications, follow us on Facebook. There's so much left to see and do. And in our next video, we are going to be putting out a question to you all. This year, we are increasing our flock, like we've been mentioning. We are going to hatch out a whole bunch of different chicks from different breeds and add them into our rotation. but we need your help. We are going to let the YouTube audience, you wonderful individuals, pick one of our breeds. So we'll be putting out a poll with some choices in it, and we would love to hear your feedback, your comments. Let us know what you think we should add as one of our extra breeds this year. So until next time, everyone, from all of us at Modern Canadian Living, take care. Prince Fluffy Butt says, come back. You don't want to miss anything.